All right, let's dive in. If you've ever gotten that huge rush from cracking a hacking challenge and then immediately thought, okay, what's next? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to lay out the roadmap that takes you from just playing around to becoming a real pro in cybersecurity. Let's get to it. So you've done it. You've rooted your first box. Maybe it was something like Kiptrix and you felt that amazing thrill. And you know what? That feeling is awesome. But it also brings up that one big question. How do you actually turn that win into a professional career? That's what we're going to break down step by step. You know, the first and maybe most important step is to stop just wandering around and start navigating with an actual map. This is all about finding your footing by using an official, recognized framework, the same kind the pros use every day. And here is that map, the NIST NICE framework. Seriously, think of this as the official guidebook for the entire cybersecurity world. It's put out by the US National Institute of Standards and Technology, and it basically defines the language of cybersecurity work. It's the standard that pretty much everyone agrees on. This is such a critical shift in how you think about things. See, becoming a pro isn't about just randomly collecting skills like they're trading cards. The NICE framework gives it all structure. It organizes everything into specific job roles, the tasks those roles perform, and the exact knowledge you need for them. It really does turn all that chaos into a clear, understandable path. So here's the big takeaway for you. Your path suddenly becomes way clearer. Yeah, you start with the basics, like beating Kiptrix. But then you use the NICE framework to figure out, okay, where do I actually fit in? From there, you can build your knowledge, get real hands-on experience, and go after the exact certifications for the job you actually want. It takes all the guesswork out of it. Okay, so now you've got your career map. What's next? Well, you need a playbook for when you're actually on the job. This is all about ditching the random poking around and moving to a real professional method for testing. This really says it all, doesn't it? The map tells you your destination, but the playbook tells you how to run the plays once you get there. And for a pen tester, especially in web security, having that playbook is absolutely everything. And that playbook? It's the OWASP Web Security Testing Guide, or WSTG for short. The Open Web Application Security Project put this together, and believe me, it is the industry standard. This isn't just some list of cool attacks. It's a complete, systematic framework for testing that makes sure you're thorough, professional, and you don't miss anything. Let's just compare the two approaches, side by side. On the left, you've got guesswork hacking. Sure, it's unstructured, you're relying on luck, and you are absolutely going to miss vulnerabilities. Now look at the right. That's systematic testing using OWASP. It's methodical, it relies on a process, and you get comprehensive coverage. The results are professional and something you can actually report to a client. This right here, this is what separates the hobbyist from the professional. All right, let's level up our thinking for a minute. As a professional, you're not just some bug hunter finding one-off issues. You have to understand how your work fits into the much, much bigger picture of how an entire organization manages risk. So why is this change in perspective so important? Well, just look at this number. A typical large company isn't just dealing with one or two little problems, they're staring down thousands, literally thousands of potential vulnerabilities. There's no way they can fix everything at once. They have to think strategically. And that's where this quote from CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, is so perfect. The real goal isn't just to find flaws. The actual work at the corporate level is managing that giant list of problems effectively. It's all about prioritization and risk. So how do organizations deal with all this chaos? They use a formal process, like this vulnerability management lifecycle. First, they discover all their assets and scan for problems. Then, and this is the key part, they assess and prioritize everything based on business risk. Only then do they move on to remediate or fix the big issues. And finally, they report on what they found. As a pen tester, your work is a critical piece of those first two steps, discovery and assessment. So let's pull this all together. Let's look at the complete roadmap we've just laid out. It's a journey that takes you from conquering that one first machine to thinking about the thousands of issues a whole organization has to deal with. This timeline really nails the whole journey. You start small, mastering a single machine. Then you level up by adopting a professional playbook like OWASP. You start to think bigger, learning organizational strategy from places like CISA. And the whole time, your career is being guided by that official framework from NIST. You see? It all connects. So there you have it. You have the map, you have the playbook, and you have the professional strategy. The path from hobbies to pro, it's not some big secret anymore. It's a clear, structured process. So the only real question left is, what's the very next step you're going to take on your roadmap?